What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Outside Interference with me, the RRBG, being joined today by the evil genius himself, Mr. Eddie Firth. How are you, brother?
Thanks, man. Oh, dude, I am so excited. This is going to be an amazing weekend. How many shows have you done so far this week? You're recording podcasts left and right for WrestleMania.
I've been a lot. I literally just finished an episode with Shayna Baszler, which I have to edit and put up because we talked about Bloodsport, which is tomorrow, which is nuts. Like, I didn't even realize, like, oh yeah, that's tomorrow. If I were her, I wouldn't have talked to me today.
Imagine being at that level, being like prepping for a show like that and still having the time and
an hour. We talked for an hour.
Man, like that's pro on a whole other level, right? Like both athletically and as performers, that they're operating, they must all be doing like massive amounts of promo this week.
Yeah. And shout out to the WWE for finally giving me a shot, basically, because for people, this might be too much shop talking for people, but it's really difficult to get a WWE superstar on your show. You can't just hit them up. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. And it took me forever, including last year. I mean, this show last year when it was Comedy Store Wrestling, we were collaborating with them. Like, that was massive. But with that, I still had like a year of emails to finally get some superstars on the show, which I'm super stoked on, and appreciate WWE giving me a shot, especially during Mania season, which is their craziest time during the biggest WrestleMania of all time. I mean, how are you feeling? Are you excited?
I was trying to think about what WrestleMania I was as excited for as this one, given the build. Because look, every WrestleMania is the biggest of all time, and it's also the only one that's happening currently, so it has to be. I was excited when I went to 35 in Jersey, and I thought that the build up for that main event, the triple threat match, was really big. But this one, man, this one does feel special. This one has me excited because I could see all outcomes as possibilities. And am just as excited for all of them with no real sense of what could happen going into it. That's the ultimate end to a match in a WrestleMania weekend. I have no idea what's going to happen. I couldn't be more excited for it. How are you feeling?
Same. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. Me as a producer mind I'm super excited because I've been noticing some slight changes on the TV programming that I'm excited to see how they're going to pull off at WrestleMania, which is the one shots that keep happening. We keep getting
which ones?
Like they had one with like backstage. It was people talking, and then they followed the wrestler out to the ring and all in one shot to their entrance, walked down the ramp, and then walked to the ring. Who was it? I don't remember who it was. R-Truth. It was R-Truth. That was a couple. That was a couple. Entrance. Yeah, there was a couple weeks ago. They were doing like a backstage segment, and it was The Miz and R-Truth and some other folks, and then it finally the music hits, and they just follow him out, and he grabs the mic and starts rapping to the crowd, and it's just all one shot all the way to the ring and then back to his opponent coming out. And they keep doing these things. And they even did one during a commercial break, which I thought was ridiculous. They came in, they were following people in the concession stand, and they followed them back to their seats. And then they come off frame and sit down, and then the camera just keeps going down towards, and I'm like, there's some really interesting, you can tell that Kevin Dunn is no longer around. There's some really interesting new camera work going on, and I'm curious to see what they do at WrestleMania, especially the entrances. I feel like there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Triple H right now because this is his first real Mania, right? Like, this is his first Mania as the man in charge. His first, they've been touting that, this was his first Hall of Fame. So that's why Paul Heyman was so excited to get nominated. because it was directly from Triple H. So he was like, okay, this is cool, because he's been apparently asked before and he didn't want it. But this time he was like, okay, Triple H is doing it, I'll do it. So I feel that there's a lot of pressure because Triple H is known for what he did in NXT was create these long, crazy, elaborate entrances. Finn Balor with his thing, and you know, Karrion Kross and his whole song and dance. So I'm excited to see if there's some new epic entrances for Mania.
Who do you think is going to have? Who do you think will have one of the most notable entrances? Who are you looking forward to, or who stands out as like, oh, that might be someone who comes out with something crazy?
I have a feeling we're gonna get an epic entrance from Gunther.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, he's gonna have like a parade of soldiers, like a Roman emperor coming out, or a Roman general, right? A full general outfit.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a tank like Miro. You know what I mean? Take a tank out there.
Oh, big time.
Dude, and guess what? Here's a little fun fact. Saturday, which I believe is, his match is Saturday. Saturday night is his 666th day. 666.
Yeah.
He's like the devil. He's the devil.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I just feel like something epic's going to happen there. I don't know if Rhea will have something crazy, but I'm sure she'll have a crazy outfit.
She's going to have such a massive reaction.
Yeah.
So like, I think about so I would love to see LA Knight do something on a larger scale, some sort of prop or set piece. The way you're talking about it really makes me think about how they could use the camera. Like you said, going from backstage to front, like we're thinking of the entrances like Triple H's The Terminator, but what if they use this sort of cinematic layout and shoot from the back to the front stage or something like that? But LA Knight would also be a great guy that you could really blow out an entrance and make it look just phenomenal, make him seem like that big showman and entertainer. Obviously, Logan Paul will also do something.
Yeah, he'll have something because his match is a triple threat, right, with Randy and Kevin. I'm sure that'll be a big entrance.
He zip lines in, or he's going to jet ski in. He's going to do like a jet pack or something you can only get through someone kind of piece of technology. He's going to fly like one of those flying cars into the arena, right? It just come out over the top of the stadium.
He's hanging onto a drone. The drone drops him in. I think so. I also think because of the really cool promo video, I don't know what you would call it, very cinematic like video that we got from Drew McIntyre on Raw. I don't know if you saw that one. Did you see the funeral segment?
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's another thing about production that I'm excited about. Not just the one-shot camera angles, but like some of these more cinematic packages that we're getting between the Drew McIntyre funeral bit and the Sami Zayn and Chad Gable's Rocky skit. Someone's going to do, I'm assuming that's Sami. Sammy's got to do the Rocky entrance. He might come out to Eye of the Tiger. I don't know.
It's gonna start with a video of him running up the Rocky stairs,
punching.
He's gonna stop halfway through to catch his breath and have a protein shake.
Oh yeah. Is there okay. So I'm picturing the meat punching scene from Rocky, but I feel like because of his religious beliefs, it can't be that. Like, what would it be? He would have to punch.
He's chopping. He would be chopping. It would be knife edge chops. Like big bags of chickpeas, big bags of garbanzo beans.
And he's just like
the best is they would say garbanzo beans, and he's chopping at the garbanzo beans.
Nice.
And he goes, Gunther, I'm going to turn you into hummus.
Oh boy, yeah, I do. Like I said, I think maybe Drew will have something cinematic with, and Sami might have some kind of Rocky themed thing. Gunther definitely. Seth Rollins won't have an epic entrance, but he'll definitely have an epic outfit.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes. Becky Lynch will ride in on whatever vehicle they get, whether it's a 3-wheeler or a 2-wheeler or a 7-wheeler, whatever odd number wheeled vehicle. Becky Lynch is riding in on that, holding some flag, right? They love a good flag on a vehicle. There we go. That's Becky Lynch.
Oh man, and and also I'm assuming we're gonna get an epic Rock entrance. It's already pretty epic. His new entrance on Raw and
Yeah.
SmackDown with the lightning and the spotlight, like perfect. And they figured that one
I'm
out quick.
excited. They are very cinematic. That reveal when he showed up on Raw unexpectedly to face off with Cody and then beat him down. That
Mm-hmm.
shot from the opposite side of the arena where you just see him all of a sudden lit, and it's like Black Adam showed up to attack Cody, and you can see he's ready to fight, but he's a little nervous because he didn't expect they
Yeah.
see, like with Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth in those two main events, both nights. Those are the ones I do feel like, especially that tag team match. The first time we see Rock, I could also see them going super simple. The idea being like his presence alone, like we're finally seeing him. We don't have to add any bells or whistles. You got The Rock showing up at WrestleMania night 1, knowing that there's no way he's going to miss night 2. I feel like there's also just a chance they put a spotlight, a couple of things on the screen, that pin spot on him, some smoke, and he just walks out, muscles. Just
Do we get the short trunks? Do we get the trunks, the tiny blackies?
he's going with the tight. He didn't work out this hard. Look, I'll tell you something I noticed. This is you got to really know what you're looking for. But go back and watch him on Monday Night Raw this week, where he's wearing the cowhide vest.
Mm-hmm.
Check under his lats in the back, and you can see that The Rock has been hitting the ropes hard getting ready for this, because he has the rope burn from hitting those ropes over on both sides of him. I caught it. So he is going to be ready. He's going to be jacked. Those thighs are going to be out. If he's coming back for one thing, it is to have his full shirt off and pants off, just standing in the entranceway. He's ready. The Rock is ready. Look, he's my stunt double. I know he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, the concern is always the legs, right? Like when CM Punk came back and he was, wearing the shorts versus the long pants. It's always the legs. That's the concern. So I'm hoping he's got the legs. He's been putting in time in his legs as much as he has with his enormous arms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we move into the card, the fucking Instagram post he put after Raw went off the air, where he's still cursing out, and he's cursing out the camera guy. Fuck your script, and it made so much sense. Like at first, I'm like, he knows that they're filming him still for Instagram. Like he knows that this is going on Instagram, but I liked that video more than some of the promos he's done. Like I thought that was it's real, because when you're that emotional and that angry and like you're yelling, and you can't just turn that shit off. It can't just. It's not a switch. It's not like, oh, okay, cool, yay. No, like it. You're still in the rain. You had the smell of Cody's blood's probably in your hands and face. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I know people were hating on all the cursing and whatnot, but no, give me more.
It's certainly like a great example of that sort of like 5D storytelling, because I thought about that one for a long time afterwards, but I think they always knew that was going to be shot and put up. Like, you know what I mean? Like they put in advance, because at first I was like, oh, good, he stayed in character, but is he a little bit of a dick for staying in character? Because he did come, and then I was like, oh no, this is them doing that specifically to shoot it after they knew when they were going off the air, and they wrote in, when we go off the air, we're still filming to post to Instagram later. I was just watching that the Roman A&E documentary, and it is phenomenal. And you really see how Roman and COVID turned this into this completely different cinematic, theatrical, even the idea that once you got backstage that they didn't stop shooting you, because the difference between in the arena where there's no crowd and backstage where there's no crowd, you're on camera the whole time. So that, like, it hit me. This was clearly scripted and so beautiful, because it does blur that line, and it went that whole other level. And just so other than his presidential stump speech that he added into the Instagram post, right? That whole writing, I hate when corporations tell me what to do. Rock 2028, which will be amazing. I cannot wait for that presidential run. He'll definitely make the Mount Rushmore of both presidents and WWE. That'll be the first person to cross over.
I don't know, man. I don't know with these
was amazing.
With these clips of him cursing up a storm and talking about crackhead Karens. I don't know if people would like the people that don't watch wrestling are going to vote for that. They don't even need to do a smear campaign. All they got to do is like
our actual last president said worse than that in like not even on a TV show. He said it as a real person. The Rock will easily go, guys, I'm playing a character, but it gives him the validity. It gives him the edge of people who need him to have the edge. It is all plotted and planned. He's gonna win in a landslide. Yeah.
I mean, I'd vote for him. That's for sure.
We're all going to vote for him. Do you not see who we have been voting for? We're going to vote for him. We're going to vote for him just fine.
Oh, man. All right. So let's get into
it. Did you catch, talking about post-credit scenes, so to speak, did you see the one after Monday Night Raw that came out? Where The Rock takes that Cody Rhodes belt and whips the referee?
No.
Oh, you got to see it. So it's like I'm going to call them post-credit scenes.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
After the Raw goes off the air, he's still beating Cody in the ring. After Raw goes off the air this past Monday with Roman and Rock taking out Seth and Cody, he takes that Cody Rhodes weight belt and he whips one of the referees, and the referee doesn't know it's coming. Look, as a referee, and I made this mistake before, he gets the fuck out of the ring. He doesn't sell right away. He's like, "What the fuck are you?" He literally like, "What?" He just gets up and gets out of the ring because he doesn't want to get hit by the Rock anymore.
That's
you got to see it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I'll look it up because that sounds fun.
You can see the Rock just having so much fun with this.
Very cinematic universe of him to have post-credit scenes like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's having fun. I've been a little harsh on him in the first few promos because I did notice a lot of repeating, and it's just something I told my friend. I broke it down the other day where I was like, look, I study a lot of people on the mic, whether it's stand-up comedy or podcasting or promos for wrestling. And what I saw, like when he was cutting the promo on Mama Rhodes and talking about putting Cody's blood and tears on the belt and putting it on her. If you watch that promo back, he forgot what he was going to say. And only reason I noticed it is because I've seen so many comedians blank on stage where like I noticed the eye, like he stops. He was like, and the blood and the tears, and I'm going to whisper in your ear, and with your son's blood and tears. I was like, you either forgot that you were doing the Moana line, or you were just going over it in your head one more time to make sure that it landed perfectly. So I've been super judgy on The Rock's promos just because, and it's mostly because of everybody else's love and infatuation with it. They're like, he's back. The Attitude Era is back. And I'm like, he's back, but let's be real here. He's not where he used to be. And we've talked about it last episode too. But I will say the Rain promo in the Rain and the one last Monday, he's getting there. He's gotten sharper. There's less forgetting. He's going off of more emotions, which I like. So he's got me back. I'm excited again. Because at first I was like, I think this is that CM Punk effect where everybody's just stoked to see him. And I'm just like, I haven't seen it yet, bro. Where is it? But anyway, let's get into the card. Starting with night one, according to Bleacher Report here. I'm gonna start at the very bottom. There's a lot of matches, and I don't want to do a 2-hour podcast. So let's see if we can do this quick.
We can breeze through the ones we don't need to, so we can spend time on the obvious 2-3 matches that we want to talk about.
Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. I do want to comment on this because I'm digging this eventual Dom leaving Judgment Day. I feel it's coming. I feel like Dom's going to get his own version of Judgment Day with all luchadors. I feel because they have him working with Andrade. I don't really want to see Andrade in the Judgment Day. And I feel like they'll go with that angle of like Andrade is part of the Judgment Day, but it's not really clicking with everybody else. And then Dom eventually just being like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving with my boy." Then, and he leaves and to start something else and bring in Santos, or maybe he goes and joins the Legado Fantasma and they make Dom the new leader. I don't know, but I do like that. I don't really care about seeing Ray versus Dom again, and also I'm sure Carlito isn't feeling great about not having a WrestleMania match, and they put in Dragon Lee when he's been there the whole time. It's like, what about me? But yeah, I don't. This match is I'm gonna watch it, but you know what? Actually, one of my favorite
I like
entrances.
that you just talked yourself in and out of this match. Like, we're not even going to talk about it. Actually, I need to talk about it. I'm not looking forward to it. Hold on a second. I'm actually back in.
I'm back in.
This is good.
I'm back in for one reason and one reason only. Last WrestleMania's Dominic Mysterio entrance was my favorite.
Oh, when he came out of the paddy wagon.
Oh my God! With the mask on, I popped so hard. So I'm actually stoked about watching Dom's entrance this year. See how he's
going to do a full Eddie Guerrero lowrider entrance.
Oh, yeah.
Just look, because again, he's going to drill. He's going to drill home that idea with his dad of like, I'm actually sad that you're my dad in the end. I wish Eddie had gotten that contract in the ladder match so that I could have gone and lived with a real wrestler, Dad.
That's true. That's going to be good. Who do you got? Oh, and I should.
Man.
I should write these down too.
Look, I think Dom needs a win somewhere to keep him valid, but he can lose for a while and it still doesn't matter. This is obviously to me leading to Ray and Dom at the next pay-per-view or up through SummerSlam. It's something like that. And somehow the Judgment Day is looking like it's going to break up soon, but it's been elevating everybody so perfectly. But Ray coming back, he might need that win too. This is a toss-up because to me it feels far more storyline driven where the outcome is not nearly as important as the interactions.
Yeah.
So you could have anybody go over as long as the point is driven home that Dom and Ray are coming back together to go back at it. But it would be a good place to give Dom a victory. He loses a lot, and this could be a really easy win, especially cheat-wise over his dad to set up a real match because he lost last year at WrestleMania,
Yeah,
I'll give it to Dom. Dom is going to get a pin. He's going to win this one.
They can make it. They can make Dragon Lee eat the pin. They don't have to make Ray.
Carlito seems to be getting out of any time he has to lose. Right? That the last two times he's not on this card, and he got replaced in the last one, so he didn't have to lose either. Maybe Carlito has the sweetheart deal where he's just like, "I'll do anything you want except lose. Just don't let me take the pin." Like Hogan.
That makes sense. Yeah, I pick Santos and Dom as well, mostly because Dom is the greatest professional wrestler of all time, and and Santos Escobar is a homie, so I give it to them. That's it. So, all right.
I'm not going to mention any names, but I was sent a text message very recently, which also pointed out, not to break anybody's heart, but apparently Dominic is a sweetheart to work with, like just a joy of a human being, not to break kayfabe and break everybody's heart, but clearly just a good dude to work with too, which is awesome. That's always what you want to hear, especially when somebody's driving home being an asshole. He's good at it. He's really good at it.
No, I've heard good things too. I have friends that live near NXT Center. What is it? The Performance Center. And they go to that, and then they go hang out at a bar. I'm not going to say which, so I don't blow up the spot, but my buddies go to this bar, and that's where everybody from NXT goes to hang out after too. So they've met, Priest and Dom, and they've met, Riddle, and anybody that's gone through NXT. They hang out and have drinks with them, and they all said that out of the entire group, Dom was like the nicest guy in the group. Like, super humble and sweet, like, hey, saying hello to everyone, making sure he introduced himself as like his real name. I think, that's cool. All right.
Sounds like we got to take a trip to Orlando, and we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to get a pair of Travis Scotts to hang out with him. He's a big Travis Scott wearer, so I got to save up my money for both the trip and the Jordans.
Okay, all right. Next on the card, we got Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill, who were dubbed the Female Avengers by Montez Ford, versus Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I don't care because feel like this is a match that was put together just to make sure that they were on the card. There isn't really a whole lot of story aside from like, I want my belt back and you have it and let's fight. And so there's not a lot of investment. I will say I'm excited to see Jade in the ring finally. And I will say that her entrance was great with the laser curtain and the smoke and the raindrops. Great job. Great entrance. Now let's see if, not that she was particularly bad before in the ring, but I want to see what the Performance Center has done for her physically outside of just entrance and mic work and whatnot.
I mean, I would have to imagine that Bianca, Naomi, and Jade are winning this match. That's got to be a good.
Yeah, none of the belts are on the line, so the tag
make
belts...
them look strong. Yeah. Make them look strong.
Yeah, female Avengers. That's an easy one. And you got to,
I could see Damage Control losing, but if you had, this is when I was trying to think of the whole card, not to look ahead too much. But I think they're going to stack a lot of babyface wins and a lot of people feeling good. Just in case they have any reason to go home not feeling good, they gave them every feel-good moment they could in case they go off the air Sunday night and they aren't as happy as they want to be.
Yeah. There's that. There's also the let's make everybody happy because all of the news coming out is not great either. All the McMahon stuff and all the... Now today I saw Ronda out there blasting people. I think Drew Gulak. So, which, if he did that, that's fucked up. I don't get, like, I wasn't trying to defend him in any way, but I was just trying to like analyze the behavior. And I'm like, the only way I could possibly even think that someone would say that this is something acceptable to do is if he was it's just something that he does to the boys and he wanted to show some kind of equality there. But no, don't do that. Don't pull on women's drawstrings at random without letting them know that you're doing that.
And then did you see his response? Sounded so reasonable and so innocent. I'm like,
I didn't see his response.
He was like, I went to go shake her hand because there was a big group of people. In wrestling, you go and you shake everybody's hand, you say hello. Yeah. And as he went to shake her hand, it was an inadvertent thing and he apologized for it.
He shook her
drawstring. I have no idea. I don't know what to believe or what to think. It's just like one of these, God, I hope this shit just quits. Like, I don't want anyone to be acting inappropriately one way or another. It seems like so absurd nowadays.
Yeah. Well, all right. We had female Avengers. We picked that. All right. Next up, the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Now, I don't remember where I heard this, but maybe it was on Raw or maybe it was busted open somewhere, but it is for the individual belts. So we are getting a split. It might have been Wrestle Talk now that I think about it, but it's going to be a split. So I don't know how that makes any sense because you get up there and they're all there unless they're going to have them separate. But if you get up there and they're all four there, why wouldn't you just grab all four? You know what I mean?
Conceivably, you could. Conceivably, one team could walk away double champs. You know what I mean? Like you could have both. There are so many ways to write it in either way. Obviously, it makes sense that this is their moment to split the two tag belts and get them off of Finn and Priest without them losing. But you could also have them both retain. You could have Awesome Truth win one set of belts and then the New Day win the other set, so that they can split them back up.
Yeah,
I don't know. This one seems like an odd throw together, but they clearly want something from it, which I got to imagine is splitting the belts, right?
Yeah, they want to split the belts. They might keep a set of belts on Judgment Day because obviously they have a lot of investment in that group and belief and whatever. They like them, so I don't think they're going to take away all their gold, but definitely they want to have a second set of champions, and that's the best way to do it, I guess. I don't know. I would split the belts on top. I would have one set, on the left side, another set on the right side.
Like two separate things hanging ladders. So you can grab one. Yeah. Look, if they pulled off two different ropes, one with one belt and one with the other, that would be a cool effect because the tension and the drama is now you'd have two people going at different times to get different belts versus everyone climbing up to the same one spot to get them off. That would be a really cool to actually have like that idea of a double ladder match where there's two separate goals at the same time. That's cool. I like that. And if I had to pick, I would think Finn and Priest keep the Raw belts and New Day gets the SmackDown titles. Now, but I would also say Awesome Truth could be in there.
We also have A-Town Down Under.
Oh, that'd be a good team to win the SmackDown belts.
There's A-Town Down Under. There's the New Catch Republic, which I like them, but they're not winning. And there's also DIY.
Not winning.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Trips really likes those guys.
Yeah. Give them a real victory. Give them a real victory and a real. Don't they do better off in a program leading up to a match where they can actually wrestle and have right? That makes.
I mean, I think
this one. I'll be honest. I'm trying to make it up because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't really care on this one. This is their. I threw this one together at the last minute. What do we have for dinner? What's in the fridge? Oh my God, we still have Finn and Priest in the fridge. Well, we got to cook something. What can we do? Well,
we're gonna get
thrown together.
We're gonna get some ridiculous spots because because of the people involved and because of the ladders. Finn will probably break something in his head or a bone because he's got like a curse where like last year he got smashed. Hopefully not. I'm not wishing any bad on Finn. Damn, dude, it's a tough one. Also, there's the rumors afloat that they might add the Hardys.
Cool. Excited. I'm excited to see them. They may be one of the most influential tag teams in WWE history. We're talking top 5 easy of all time, if not top 3 or even top 1. Awesome. But I don't want this match to last as long as it would take Matt Hardy to get to the ring. You know what I mean? Like, I love them. I don't want to see him walking around anymore because it degenerates my hips every time I watch him walk to the ring.
He got surgery recently.
Good. I hope they are pain-free. I hope they're happy. They would absolutely get a pop. They would absolutely make everything exciting. You know, we also don't need them. Just let this play out.
Yeah, we don't need them. It would be fun to hear the do 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 in Mania again, or maybe even a bait and switch like the last time when they showed up when it was New Day and they're like, actually, it's not going to be us. That could be cool. I don't know. All right, I'm going to say Dom. No, not Dom. Fuck. Priest and Balor keep a set of belts. Do we want to be as nitpicky as a which show? I guess.
I think that's a really good split. Yeah, because that's it. Look, we're going to get very close on all of these, so we're going to have to come down to points.
Yeah, I say Raw. The Judgment Day Priest retain Raw, and then it's either A-Town Down Under or Awesome Truth for me. I feel like they want to do some favors for the Miz and Truth because, I don't know.
It's a solid choice. That is the one that makes the most sense in context, where it's the payoff of they've been together. Everybody loves them. It's sort of nostalgia, but they just can't. You cannot hold the two of them down, and I would be inclined to do that except they're on Raw, and I know you could move them to SmackDown. I think if you're splitting the belts, that's the good choice, and I think you're right, but I'm going to steer the other way and go New Day takes the SmackDown titles. So Finn and Priest keep the Raw titles, and New Day take the SmackDown title because they're right there on SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. But Awesome Truth could take the Raw titles and Down Under could take the SmackDown titles. They'd be fun with the SmackDown titles.
So what do you think? You got New Day SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New Day take the SmackDown titles and Finn and Priest keep the Raw titles, so that you could have that change hands on Raw in a match.
Gotcha. Okay, I got Judgment Day and Awesome Truth. I think also with the connection of both of them and their story with Priest with Truth and Judgment Day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Usos facing each other off.
This is a lot harder for me
off.
to pick than it should be. Like, I know who's supposed to win, but there's this part of me that thinks Jimmy needs the win more than Jay needs the win. Jay is main event. You think he's going to go over because that's a clear path. Trying to keep in mind all the other things that are or are not going to happen with the bloodline this week, just in a simple sense, right? Jimmy needs this win more than Jay does to stay relevant as competitors. And long-term, Jimmy beating Jay actually helps anything long-term. Because anytime in wrestling you do this, you got to think, well, what do we do tomorrow? If Jay beats Jimmy, cool. And then what? And then one of them has a championship later and they'll do this again next year. But you already know Jimmy wins this because now he holds over this weird little but in our one-on-one match, I beat you. I got you. So if you get Jay is more likely to be world champ. So Jimmy can come back and be like, hey, brother, I beat you. I got one over on you. Here's my card. I'm cashing in my chip. Given that, what I think might else happen, maybe maybe Jay gets this win, so Bloodline isn't dominating things, but Jimmy needs this. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. Jimmy wins this. Jimmy's taking this one because he needs this win to stay a credible, relevant contender within all of this. Jay will not suffer if he loses because he'll show up and he's got a lot of great victories under his belt. That's why I'm going Jimmy. To keep this thing interesting, because otherwise...
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, and I could also see that being the heartbreak of no yeet. No yeet.
Which, by the way, Monday night, my favorite line in that Roman Reigns promo on Monday night when Roman and Rock are in the ring are when they're all chanting yeet, and Roman just goes, no yeet. The way he said it popped me big. I'm sitting on my couch in my apartment just going nuts for Roman. No yeet.
No yeet.
Yeah. I say leaving WrestleMania, no yeet.
I'm going to go with Jay.
You're going to go with Jay.
I'm going to go with Jay.
You're probably right. He is over. He is good.
And also, I just, like you said, the feel goods need to be there.
Because Cody's not going home with that belt. They need to stack some good feelings. You're right. It should be Jay. It's going to be Jay. I'm going to dissent and I'm going to say Jimmy so that the bloodline looks fucking ferocious coming out of this thing.
All right. So Jimmy, I got Jay.
But when I'm wrong, I want you all to know I knew I was wrong. Okay. It matters to me that you know that I knew I was wrong and I'm just playing the game. But no yeet. No yeet this weekend.
Well, I will also preface with, I also can see no yeet. I can see that being a dark thing that they go with. So, but I'm going to pick Jay. All right.
Good.
Intercontinental Championship, Gunther on his 666 day versus the literal Rocky story of Sami Zayn. And I'm going to give them props on salvaging Chad Gable in this, because when Sami won the contenders match, a lot of people got mad. A lot of people were like, it should have been Chad because it's more personal, because there's a child involved, all these things. And I think they did a great job of making Chad train Sami and push Sami to this point to keep him relevant and strong, and also make it all right, fine. We're gonna if Chad's rooting for Sami, then you people rooting for Chad need to root for Sami. You know what I mean? So, Gunther versus Sami.
That's what's gonna happen.
I don't know, man. I want Gunther to be champion until he retires the belt, and not retires or vacates it like Samoa Joe did. Now I want the heavyweight championship, and he just fucking tosses it. But Sami kind of needs it. He hasn't really been doing much, and he was in the hottest storyline just last year, and now he's not doing much. I feel like Sami needs it. I don't know. What do you got?
I'm picking Gunther.
Oh yeah. No.
Look, this
No
is
thoughts.
as we're going through this card, everything we were saying about the main events is applicable to the whole card. They're both compelling stories, they're compelling reasons. Absolutely. Sami can walk away the Intercontinental Champion. No one's going to question that he defeated Gunther's streak, that he is deserving, that he is star quality. This is another example of these matches are so close to call that both make sense, and I don't know which one to pick, but I'm picking Gunther because he is so strong that the way they've played it, I also think Chad Gable's going to get another shot, right? This would be a great opportunity. Look, if Sami wins, he and Chad can go at it, but this might be a Sami loses and he goes, Chad, you got to go try one more time, and this is the roll-up pin where he just catches Gunther on a Monday night, and that ends Gunther's reign. But I'm going to pick Gunther. I think Gunther walks away Intercontinental Champion because this is another world champion you're building, and you can have him drop it later, but he looks amazing in every way, shape, and form. Have him walk away with the Intercontinental title. If you've got this is another way to think of it too. This is a real evil genius way to think of it. They have a very big stage right now, especially with The Rock there. They're going to have some extra eyes. This guy is a guy. You want them to remember how dominant he is. And Gunther walking away with another win, with the commentators talking about his streak and how dominant he is, and he obliterates Sami at the end, triple power bombs Sami in the ring and stacks up and pins him. He's going to look amazing, and you're going to have all these people who tuned in to see The Rock recognize that Gunther is a monster. That is a Brock Lesnar level difficult to defeat bad guy. So I think Gunther is walking away Intercontinental Champion. He's going to win this dominantly with a triple power bomb.
Okay. That's what I want to see.
I dare you to pick Sami. I dare you to pick Sami.
I'm going to pick Sami.
Kick. You're going to pick Sami Zayn.
And it's not going to be a haluva kick though. It's not going to be a haluva.
What's it going to be?
He's going to.
Is it the roll up?
He's going to squeak it out somehow.
Small package.
Small.
He's going to do the Bret Hart, Roddy Piper sleeper hold, push off the ropes, and stack the pit. Yeah,
something like that.
I can't believe you picked Sami. Outside the interference listeners, even the picks are exciting this WrestleMania season. Even the picks, the show where we just talk about what we don't know is exciting.
Yeah, man, because I'm a Gunther guy all the way. I am Chop City. You know what I mean? Give me that forever. But I do think Sami Chad is more compelling than Chad trying again, because he already failed twice, right? It was twice that he did it. Mm-hmm. I think it's more compelling to get the teacher and the student, even though it was just for like a week, but that's a more compelling match for Chad. I think it's time to get Gunther on the world title picture. Mm-hmm. So have him drop it to Sami. Sami's looking good. Eventually branches off with Chad. And then you have Gunther kind of like going back to the drawing board, getting angrier, getting more militant with it, getting more aggressive, beating people left and right to get to the world title picture now. I
think you're absolutely right. I think that's what will happen. I am just a natural born heel, and I'm a shit stirrer, and I want to dissent. Even though this whole time I was like, we should stack up every good guy win we can get. Sami winning will be good because we know what's going to happen Sunday night, and they need everyone to be as happy as possible. But I'm sticking with Gunther. But I think you're right. I think Sami and Chad Gable is what's going to headline next, and it's that'll
be SummerSlam.
It won't be a haluva kick. It'll be a roll up. It'll be a technicality kind of win. You're right.
Some kind of squeaking out, or maybe even like they just go at it till they're both just dead, and then there's like a finger on Gunther or some nonsense like that. Something squeaking it out. Moving along, Women's World Championship, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, in my opinion, Rhea Ripley defending against the man, Becky Lynch, who I very seriously considered going to go see at Barnes & Noble's in the Grove in Miracle Mile here because she's signing her book.
When was it? When was
I don't know. I don't even know if it's already happened. Maybe it might have already happened. I think it was sometime in March. I thought about it and I was like, no, I don't like those kind of encounters. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I don't like the WrestleCon stand in line, wait for your picture. There's nothing wrong with it if that's what you're into, but I like the more personal, conversational meetings, and as opposed to like you already know I'm a fan because I'm in line for your book. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Rhea Ripley and Becky. Mommy's always on top, dude.
I mean, while it would be compelling to make a case for Becky Lynch, I also think Rhea Ripley beating Becky Lynch is such a great way to cement and solidify how good Rhea Ripley is. And they're going to have a knockdown, drag out match. They're going to have a very competitive and exciting, a very compelling match. But I would be hard pressed not to pick Rhea Ripley for all the reasons you would want and think Rhea Ripley is going to win. I could see Becky Lynch winning, but I don't think it's the right choice. It's not what I want to see. It's not what I'd place my money on happening. This is a coronation for Rhea Ripley because it's going to bring her to that next level again, and puts her in a new stratosphere. Although the case to be made, if you're going to make the other case, it's, well, then what does Rhea Ripley do next? Is it Bianca Belair? Like, who left? If she now beats Becky Lynch, there's nothing else to do. But I'm picking Rhea Ripley, right? What do you think on that one?
Rhea Ripley.
How do you pick against Rhea Ripley right now?
Mommy's always on top. Rhea wins. I don't see Becky winning. There was a thought that entered my mind, though, and it is the final image of that match, of the celebration of Rhea winning, is her holding the belt and staring at Charlotte Flair. She comes out, big Flair entrance for Mania. She's back. The Queen is back. And then, that sets up, because Charlotte beat her at Mania, in her first Mania. So I think that's the next match for Rhea. And
Rhea beat her last year, right?
Yeah, they need to have a rubber match.
Yeah. So you're never going to get me to not want to see Rhea and Charlotte.
Exactly.
That's going to be big.
So I think that's the final image we get. Rhea facing Charlotte down, returning Charlotte for SummerSlam program. But there was
is Charlotte's knee okay? Right, Charlotte's working on her knee.
Yeah,
she posted something recently about some hard setbacks.
Yeah,
or just feeling like it's a challenge.
I'm sure she's having a hard time with it, but I mean, she's not gonna. They don't need to get physical. She just needs to stand there, set it up, and then start training for the big SummerSlam match.
And Rhea and Bianca haven't had a big program, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
They didn't they?
I don't know. I still think Rhea's going. I think you set Rhea up as this continual dominant wrestler, and I think she's going to win. I think you're right. Charlotte coming out is a great option. Bianca could be an option next. There's so many ways to go. Liv Morgan is Liv Morgan. Is Alexa Bliss still an option? Does she still work?
Ooh, no. I mean, ever since she had the child, she hasn't come back.
So there's places to go with Rhea Ripley. Charlotte's an obvious one, but this is not. So however, if there is somebody who is going to beat Rhea and take this belt, Becky is a legitimate contender. Like, this is the one where if Becky wins, I'm not shocked. I'm not going to go, oh my God, how? You're talking about one of the biggest stars they've produced, somebody who has a book out, somebody who is always perennially viable as an option in every single way. If Becky wins, I'm not going to go, how did this happen? How could they do this? I just think Rhea is the story. This is the dominance that this, especially nowadays with how we see their booking champions, you keep it here.
Yeah, and it'll also be a little cheesy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe no, damn, I'm going back and forth in my brain. Where I was like, it would be cheesy if Becky wins the World Heavyweight Championship, because then her husband has the men's one, and it's a little cheesy.
But they love that.
unless that household is losing some gold and someone else is bringing some new gold home.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And it's one belt that Becky hasn't carried around. And look, kids, book it. Just guessing who's going to win is as exciting as this weekend is going to be. They say biggest WrestleMania of all time. They are living up to it this week, because I thought we were going to be talking about 3 matches, and here we are. We can't even get through what we thought was an obvious Rhea Ripley win without going, but damn, Becky does make a lot of sense and would be a great victory if you are going to have somebody beat Rhea Ripley and then turn the story back around to her having to regain the belt as a 2-time world champ. She loses now, but in a month or 2, they have a Hell in a Cell match, and that's how Rhea wins the belt back. That's another good way to go. I would watch the hell out of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sticking with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Sticking with Rhea Ripley, but damn it, I'm saying it here right now outside the interference. When Becky wins, just remember the evil genius wasn't shocked. He likes to pick both people at once.
All right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think it's Rhea, but it could be Becky, I guess. The book the book is one of the things that's making me think that. All right. And then the final match of night 1. Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
It could go either way. But we know what has to happen.
Yeah, it's got to be Rock and Roman to set up Bloodline rules for the main event. Because even though, what a disappointment, by the way, Solo Sikoa versus Seth in a Bloodline rules match was just a normal DQ match. There was nothing special about it. Nothing different. Nobody came out. I was fully expecting, like, I'm expecting if they do Bloodline rules at WrestleMania for The Rock to come out with the peppers and the fucking the skirt, the fucking
No. You misunderstood. Bloodline rules match means that the way you win is you set up a big dunk tank full of blood, and you have to throw a tennis ball at the dunk tank to dunk your opponent into the blood. It's the actual blood of the bloodline. You fall into it, but dunk tank style. That's a bloodline. That's a bloodline
blood. Ancestor blood. My freaking the
Rikishi is over there doing the dance, doing the whole dance the whole time. Yeah. Fuck. That's bloodline rules.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I thought, yeah, we were definitely getting Bloodline rules, but after Monday, I was like, yeah, well, that was weak. I mean,
I hear you. I think they did not want to. I think that Bloodline rules was a misdirect.
Yeah, and there's also the very loud boos when they directed it to Solo, because they were because
he challenged The Rock, because he said you want to fight
or Roman, and he's like, no, you get the frickin' this guy who hasn't done shit.
Except, look, inside baseball talk, a heel is a heel because you take away something the fans want to see, and they are having real trouble. They're having real trouble over time keeping real heat on Rock. He's getting good heat when he beats down Cody, but then he's getting cheered, and they had him go in and get cheered because he was referring to being a girl dad. He's doing the best he can to play the both sides of the fence he wants, and it's working well because he was able to do that. But then to give him some real heat of like, we want you. He's like, I'm too good to fight you. I'm not wrestling you right now. Plus, I'm telling you, he's got the rope burns on the shoulders. I think the finish of this match is Roman and Rock go over, and at the end, the go home shot is The Rock declaring that he's the special guest referee for the next night. I think it's Bloodline rules, but the way you take it up that notch is it's not just Bloodline rules. It's I'm the referee. I'm the deciding factor. You're going to get me to count the 3 on my cousin, on my family. I don't turn my back on my cousin. And it's why it justifies when Cody doesn't win the belt, because it was completely stacked against him in a way that seems impossible to overcome. So when he loses, it's like, what else was he going to do? He wasn't. But it gives that hope because it lets everyone think, oh, he's going to win because it's all stacked against him. But I think my big theory going into this weekend is this whole weekend is actually way simpler than we think. That booking Stone Cold and John Cena to show up, or booking some crazy finish to the world title, like You know me, I'm like, The Rock should leave WrestleMania as the world champion. I don't think it's going to go crazy like that. I think it's the much simpler. We didn't think Rock was going to get booed. We had to switch things up, but we're sticking to the basic plan of where we were going. And as part of that, upping the stakes was just simple. Cody was never supposed to leave this weekend with the belt because he was never supposed to be in this picture. So we put him in the picture, but he's still not leaving with it. So we're going to do Rock and Roman win, and Bloodline rules means that the chairman of the board, right? He's on the board of directors. He's going to actually be the authority. He's going to be the referee the next night. Because that also makes him a central figure of the main event the next night in a viable way where it's not teasing that he's kind of around. No, he is around. This is major, and he's actually going to be there, booked. We know we're going to see him. So all Sunday morning on ESPN, what's happening? The Rock makes a pin. He pins Seth Rollins. The Rock pins Seth Rollins. They win, and then he announces, Cody, I told you the clown was going down. Now I'm coming for you. I'm the special guest referee. I think that's how I would. I've thought a lot about what I would pitch in the room. That's what I'm pitching in the room.
I like it.
What do you got, champ?
I'm also going with Rock and Roman because obviously I believe we need chaos in that main event for Bloodline rules. I did not see the special guest ref idea. I didn't think of that, but I got to agree. I think that's a great idea. I was also thinking some kind of new Bloodline member involvement, whether it's Jacob Fatu or Lance or whoever it is that they're talking about. There's another. Is it Lance Anoa'i that's chirping on X?
Brother, there's like 65 of them. There's so many. There are so many.
But there's one specific one that recently was brought up that he's been like teasing. Like he put the one up and he put "Am I next?" and the NXT were in caps. So maybe he's somebody new coming in for NXT, but they debut at Mania and then they show up in NXT on Tuesday. We'll see. I think maybe some kind of new Bloodline member. I do think Rock and Roman win. I do think Rock pins Rollins. I don't think Cody gets pinned in that match because then you're making him look weak for the main event. So,
although also, how great would it be if Cody gets pinned twice in one weekend? That would also be incredible to see. Like,
stop it.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. If Cody gets pinned by both The Rock and Roman and shows up to work on Monday. Holy shit, I'm gonna go nuts. But I think I'm gonna stick with what I got. But again, look, you could convince me of any of these options, including, I don't think it's unheard of and unreasonable to think there's a chance that Rollins and Cody win, because that sets up what you think is, oh, good, now Cody is free and clear, so he has an actual shot, and that's how Cody might lose the next night. I think it's all viable, including, while I'm not going to pick it, Cody could walk away WWE Universal, Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champ, or whatever combination of words they're putting to that belt right now. I think he could win. I just don't think it is what's going to happen. It's not where I'm placing my bets.
Okay. Yeah. I honestly don't even see a way for Seth and Cody to win.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100% certain this is how it goes down. But hey, anything's possible. Okay, night 2. How long? Where are we at?
Jeez.
Oh my God, we're at an hour. We're at an hour. Let's run through this. All right.
We got it.
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. The Final Testament, because I had Karrion on the show and he's a homie now, so go my boys.
I want to pick that, but for fun, I'm going to pick Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Okay. I mean, the story here isn't really as compelling as I want it to be. They've been going back and forth on the weekly TV, so there is a story. But there's a lot of wrestling going on that night. But I'm excited to see Karrion Kross WrestleMania entrance.
Check out the Outside Interference podcast with him. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Bobby Lashley for you. Okay. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Yeah. The only thing I want to make sure we point out about this match is this is the one where I believe AJ is going to help really get LA Knight to that next level in the way of, I was watching that Roman Reigns A&E biography, and they talked about, I think it was WrestleMania 31 with him. You need to at some point see this guy that you're rooting for just get brutalized, and this is going to be a tough, hard-fought match. It's going to be one of LA Knight's best showings. We know AJ is amazing in there, and LA Knight is going out with his hand raised in a match that we all go, damn, there it is. Now the yeah movement is back. Now we're behind LA Knight, but he's going home winning that match.
I'm gonna go with AJ.
You're going with AJ? Go explain this one to me in 60 seconds or less. In 30 seconds or less? How's AJ going over on this one?
I don't know if you've noticed, but AJ is huge.
Oh, I noticed.
So I think they're prepping him for something world title level. He's also mentioned that he wants to be he has one more world title run in him before retiring. And I think with Triple H in charge, this is the time to start pumping that or getting the wheels turning on that. And also, I love LA Knight, but I think something's off. I saw an interview with him recently. I believe it was on Busted Open, and he seemed down. He seemed just kind of like, it is what it is, and like he seems like he already has the news that he's not going over. But I could be wrong. I could be reading too much into it. I would love to see the movement reignite and push him to the stratosphere. So I love LA Knight, but I'm gonna go with AJ. I think he's getting jacked for a reason, and I think he's running out of time too because he's older than CM Punk. Even though CM Punk looks like he's 20 years older than AJ, but
yeah.
All right, so that's my pick. United States Championship triple threat: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
What do you got? What do you got on this triple threat match?
I don't know. I think it's time to move. I don't think Logan Paul's doing much with that belt. Like, I was excited when he got it because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Good choice. But he hasn't really done much outside of taking fucking pictures of himself naked with it and having it on his table when he interviews people, which I'm pretty sure that was part of the plan. Like, let's just have the belt there while he does his super famous podcast. I want to give it to Randy. I think he should have a run with the belt, but I also feel like Randy's in a stage right now where he's trying to put over other people. He's trying to help other people. I don't think he's trying to go after actual, to be champ. You know what I mean?
He's also somebody you could easily insert into the world or universal title picture without any question. That's a great program for anybody who comes away as a champion from this weekend. This one's actually, again, it's really tough to call. KO's got a great case to be made that he's the guy who's going to take the belt. Logan Paul is also a great choice to keep it. It's just a great opportunity for him to stay in that spot. Kevin Owens lost, and now he's coming back. Randy is inserted into it. Because if you were gonna have, I'm overthinking this one. This one's easy. Hold on, this one's easy. Who do you have?
I just wrote it down. Logan Paul.
You have Logan Paul.
Prime sponsorship in the center of the ring.
Yeah, Logan Paul's going over, but Kevin Owens is leaving with the belt. I'm picking Logan Paul. But when Kevin Owens wins, just remember that was my 1B. My 1A is Logan Paul, but my 1B is Kevin Owens.
Okay.
I think you're gonna see the stunner RKO combo. But then Randy RKO. Shit! I got lost in this one.
I just see the final image of him holding the belt over the Prime logo thing.
That's what it would be. That was. Conversely, if you're talking real brand placement and value, Logan Paul laid out having lost over that Prime logo actually is worth more, and I think he knows that. So I think he's willing to take the loss and lose the belt because if he's paying for the sponsorship and it's all about that, then him getting his ass handed to him over the logo is actually cooler and better, knowing that he's going to get his comeuppance and it's going to be that double RKO. You know what? Randy's walking away U.S. champion. Randy, I'm going to put that's mine. It's going to be the RKO. It's the stunner RKO combo on Logan Paul. Then Kevin Owens gets an RKO as well. And Randy Orton pins Logan Paul on the logo.
Okay.
After a stunner RKO, Randy wins.
So like that's, like I said initially, I want Randy to win. I just feel like maybe personally he's in that, old
he is.
Legends
I said
role.
he should go for the world title.
Yeah.
This is too good.
Yeah.
Oh
wild.
man.
I'm gonna go Logan Paul anyway because I feel that it's heel heat.
I want him to win.
It's gonna be heel heat.
I think Randy's gonna win though.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it at that then. The WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bayley.
It's maybe the easiest one for me to pick. Bayley is winning that belt, and we are all going to love it. It is well earned in every facet, both as a performer and as the character she's portraying. This is like that great build to a championship that we wish every win could be, where she's earned it and we want it, and it's going to coalesce in this perfect moment. Bayley wins.
Okay, I have Bayley as well. I also think in celebration we get fireworks and wacky waving inflatable arms flailing tube men.
Yes. Oh, that's a good. I agree with that. I'm putting them at the entrance. She's entering with them.
Okay.
She's going to enter with them, and she's going to do a throwback gear with it so that we know when it hits. That's the music. It's going to start. That's her entrance. Wacky waving inflatable, and it's the I'm a hugger music, and she comes out in the gear, side pony, belly to belly, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Next up, the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
What do you have?
I have Drew McIntyre pinning and winning the championship from Seth Rollins, and then Damien Priest takes that moment away from Drew McIntyre.
That is
cash in.
That is what I would pick too. That is a really good, strong choice in this game of we don't know what's going to happen and every option is possible. That is one that you and I have discussed multiple times, is at the top of my list. It was either him cashing in that night or the next night. I think the best is him cashing in and taking it right away from Drew because it elevates the whole situation. I agree with you, but I want to have fun with you. So I'm going to say Seth Rollins wins.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Seth Rollins wins. And then maybe Damien cashes in and wins, but I am actually just straight up. I want to be wrong on this one for the fun of it, but Seth Rollins is winning because it just seems like it was his moment to lose. He's not going to lose Sunday. He's going to lose Monday. He's got to give up that title soon. And I think this is the prime spot to do it, but I just want to have some fun. I want to roll the dice in a different direction. Seth is actually winning, even though I've thought he was losing the whole time. That's kind of why I'm picking it. So I'm going to go with Seth, even though I don't want to see it. I don't think it's what's going to happen. I'm just going to go outside the box and say Seth Rollins wins and is still world champ.
I can see it, man. I can see Seth winning and typical Seth fashion where like the last few moments where after the pin, he's spent, where he's just wobbling around the ring. And then we get the Damien Priest taking it from him and having a feud with them too.
I believe that's right. I believe that's the way to go. I think that's what's going to happen. What I want to see is The Rock walk away with the world championship somehow. I think Drew is going to beat Seth, but something just is in me is just picking Seth. Seth's going to win.
And I want to say one more thing, but it might change your vote.
Yeah.
Rock made it a point to say, I'm going to make that belt go away from you. Meaning Saturday, he might beat the fucking shit out of Seth Rollins to where he's coming out to this match with Drew taped up completely and Drew like, I told you, I've been telling you this whole time, focus on our match, because now look at you. And that might actually play into the idea that Drew loses, because it's like you were right, but you're still losing because Seth doesn't care. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Drew with the cash in, but
I love that by the end of this, you and I both want to switch. You want to take Seth now, and I want to take Drew.
No, but I feel, Rock will destroy Seth to where he will lose his belt, because that's what he claimed. And then finally,
I think this is actually all designed for Rock and Roman to go out looking strong and in control, and whatever that takes, whatever version of that it is, with Rollins losing, Cody losing, whatever it is leading to, I think, the heels, the bloodline going out looking just unstoppable, unbeatable, especially because they have the final boss. So I don't think Rollins is leaving with that title that weekend. I don't think Cody's leaving with that title that weekend. And whatever has to happen to make that way, that is going to be, whether it's a Damien Priest cash in, whether it's a last minute match made by The Rock, whether it's some amalgam of all of them. I'm just going to say that Seth is winning because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to put that there.
I have to mention this because it's part of the show, but CM Punk is going to be there. Do you think he does anything with the match aside from just commentary? You think he injects himself in the picture somehow?
Yes, but I don't know how. I think he will be. You don't cut that promo that the three of them cut to have CM Punk not be a part of it, right? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have all these three interact to then him just not be around at all. So something is going to happen. I don't know exactly what it is or how the chicanery all plays out. But if you said he was going to inject himself, as big of a problem as he has with Rollins, Drew McIntyre has been going hard at Punk. So Punk would have a lot more reason to screw over Drew than Rollins. You know?
True.
That's why I think if he is there and if he is inserting it, he's cheating Drew and Seth is keeping it, and then Seth loses it some other way. But that would be, there's no reason for Punk to give Drew the belt from Rollins. You know what I mean? Like, he's not helping Drew beat Rollins because Drew has been the one who's worn his name on his shirt.
Well, maybe because he wants that big match with Drew to be for the belt.
Yeah, that would make sense. Again, this weekend is exciting. This weekend is unpredictable. This is exciting. We don't know what's going to happen or who's going to win or why or how. This is what wrestling is at its best. Go watch Triple H on Complex Sneakers. He is one of the best bosses you could work for, apparently. This dude is putting people over left and right. He knows what he's doing, and Sean is in his ear helping out the old Heartbreak Kid. Who knew DX was going to be booking WrestleMania 40 so well?
They took over, man. They took over as they always wanted to. It's amazing. Long-term storytelling in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I feel compelled to mention the CM Punk Ariel Helwani interview. Did you see that?
Haven't watched it yet. It's good, I hear. Yeah.
Go watch it.
Okay.
He digs in on AEW. I will say this. Didn't do him any favors with me.
Why not?
Because even though he made some solid points, he still comes off as quite the dickhead. And like, I get it. Yeah, I get it that, the Bucks didn't want him there. I get it that Hanger had a problem with him. I get that could have been handled differently and they could have been more mature about it in one way or another. But Punk is still a dickhead walking around like he is God among men. Oh, you guys aren't taking advantage of all the information I have here. It's like, go fuck yourself with all that information. That's not the right approach. Like, who has the right approach? Josh Barnett. He has a brain full of knowledge, but he's not going around like, well, if you don't learn from me, too bad for you. Like, no, he's going to find a way to show you and teach you and educate you and help you. Punk wasn't there for that. Punk was to be like, I'm the best, and you should all be kissing my ass. Mm-hmm. That's what it came off as. Sorry, I'm going off on Punk again. I had to. I had to. But,
look,
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
He might end up running NXT one day. Who knows?
Him and Colt Cabana.
Oh my God. Well, that was one he brought. Ariel Helwani asked all the good questions. By the way,
I did read that. He said he's never talking to him again.
He said that.
He said basically I think this is maybe I got this quote wrong, but he essentially implied that he and
I thought you
Colt
meant
Cabana.
I thought you meant he was going to talk to Ariel. I thought he was never going to talk to Ariel Helwani again because because he asked so many questions.
no, that he and Colt Cabana are not going to be friends ever again.
It's so dumb. Even that, like, that was one of the things that made me lean in. Like, oh my God, what a dickhead! Like that Colt Cabana actually approached him and was like, "Hey man, can we talk? Because I don't want it to be weird." And that is what I would do. That is my approach. Like, hey, you have a problem with me? Let's talk it out, dude. What's the problem? And Punk's response was, I'll never talk to you unless my attorney's there. Bro, what a goddamn loser. What a loser response that is, man. Like, just be a man. What's your problem?
Although, we should all have at least one person in our lives we look at and say, I am not talking to you unless I have my attorney present. I'm not saying who it should be. I'm not saying what the scenario is, but we all need at least one person in our lives where we're like, hey, if we're going to talk, the law has to be involved. I like that idea. I have at least two of those people, and
oh man,
I'm looking for a third. So if anybody else wants on the list, you know where to find me. We're not, you could try, but we're not talking unless my attorney is present. All right.
I like that. The evil genius strikes again.
Yeah. The evil genius talked to his evil attorney.
Talk to his evil attorney. Hey man, that's a gimmick right there. I could be your evil attorney. I don't know, man. My whole life has been, you got a problem? Let's talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't talk it out, let's fight it out.
You
know, and then let's see. Because if you really,
so are you saying that CM Punk is actually doing business leading to a Colt Cabana CM Punk match at WrestleMania 42? Is that what you're saying to me? Because I'm buying that one. If that's what you're telling me, if this is still the work to get it up to that level, I'm in.
I mean,
Colt Cabana. Let's do it.
I'd be in for that.
Yeah, I'm sure if they had the right check, both of them would be into it.
I would be into that. All right, finally. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I see you. I see you.
I think that The Rock is the special guest referee. The bloodline rules are too much to overcome. There's just so much on top of it. And Roman Reigns pins Cody Rhodes and retains the WWE undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. I still am not getting the name right. They're not going to hire me to be an announcer. What they call it, the WWE Universal Undisputed WWE Universal the undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Roman Reigns is winning that match. Look, the only caveat to this is I watched that A&E biography, which is incredible. I'm going to watch it again. It's one of my new favorites. It's such an amazing piece. He talks about how that Royal Rumble in Philly, when he won and The Rock was there, he got booed. And now they're back in Philly and they have the two of them together and it can all tie in. And there is a case to be made that he is now going to let them cheer because they want to see him lose. So he's going to give it to them and it all comes full circle. Or the full circle is he's going to win and he's going to give, right? That's that age old, oh, you're crying? I'm going to give you a reason to cry. I am all in. Roman Reigns is going to pin Cody Rhodes and leave Philadelphia, the WWE undisputed Universal Champion. I got it wrong again, didn't I? I got it wrong again. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Ooh. And by the end of this weekend, I'm going to get it right when Roman Reigns walks out the winner. Okay. What do you got? Who do you got walking out? What is it? Here it is, the big main event. Is the story being finished or is the bloodline dominating?
The story is being finished. Is my pick.
You got Cody Rhodes winning the championship?
I got Cody Rhodes winning the championship because I genuinely believe the message you sent me earlier, where Cody is saying, if he doesn't win, send him home. Yeah, but also I agree. I agree that if Cody loses this, he's done, man. He has to go away now for a while and let bloodline shit happen for a couple pay-per-views and then maybe resurface somewhere else. But I think it destroys him. I can't invest in it anymore. Like, again, we lose again at Mania. Like, I'm done. I'm going to go pick somebody else to cheer on. So I think we were trying to fantasy book the end of the story at Madison Square Garden. And I thought it would be great. I don't think it happens in an untelevised event, the finishing of the story. If we push it, it's to SummerSlam, and it could be, I don't know. It could be SummerSlam. It's not going to be SummerSlam at Madison Square Garden. They already announced where it's going to be. So it could be SummerSlam, but for what reason? Like, why? Mania's bigger. If you're going to make a star, they have to make Cody a bigger star. And this is leading into like all of these things that have been going on. A lot of people think that Reign beatdown in the Reign, when they showed John Cena and Stone Cold, that they were teasing that these two guys are going to come out at Mania, which might happen and which might be how Cody wins, by the way. Bloodline rules, chaos, Bloodline's dominating, out comes Stone Cold in a ref shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and John Cena comes out, or John Cena in a ref shirt. But I'm just saying they balance it out for Cody and help him win at the end. But I also think that image of Stone Cold and John Cena could be interpreted as, look at Cody at the level of John Cena and Stone Cold feuding with The Rock. You know what I mean? I think they're trying. That's one thing that the Attitude Era had that doesn't exist right now, really. I mean, it's getting there. We're getting there. But one of the things that was missing a lot was we didn't have multiple top-level stars. Because for the last few years, it's Roman Reigns. And that's it. Everybody else is trying to climb to Roman Reigns. But in the Attitude Era, we had Undertaker and Triple H and Stone Cold and The Rock. And it was just monsters, all of them. And we don't have that right now. And we need to build those types of stars so we can make more compelling television in the future. And I think we need to make Cody be at the level of Cena and Stone Cold, which it's an argument that I have on why they shouldn't show up, really, because it would just make Cody kind of seem weak, that he needs the help of bigger stars to take on a big star. You know, if we want to make Cody a big star, then we can't have him not be able to compete with a big star.
Here's why Cody is not winning. Because he is wrestling The Rock at SummerSlam. And what is a bigger match? Cody Rhodes, the champion, having to face The Rock, or Cody Rhodes, who was cheated out of the championship, having to wrestle The Rock to get his title shot again? One of those is a much better story than the other one, which is a softer version of, you almost disrupted my story, Rock, and now I'm going to beat you. No. The Rock came in, almost took the title shot, then came in as the special guest referee and cheated him out of the belt, showed him he was better, and now Cody, to get to the next level, has to actually beat The Rock, which nobody has done for a very long time. So The Rock is really going to put over Cody Rhodes. But the most compelling stories coming out of this weekend actually have to do with Cody not winning and bringing this to a level where we keep saying how much higher they can they go. They're about to show you how much higher they can go with Cody losing the belt clean in the ring and then having to find another way back to it because he's only being elevated over and over again. I'm fully with you in everything you're saying, other than other than The Rock is going to absolutely finish what he started by not letting Cody win, because that is actually what is going to help elevate Cody to the win. We're going to want to see it that much more. So either Cody is winning Money in the Bank or Cody has to beat The Rock to get it, because that's easy. He comes out on Monday Night Raw, and what did he say? Rock, I was willing to let you have that shot, but then you came at me. And now I took the shot. And what did you do? You didn't even let me have that fair and square, so I'm coming after you, Rock. You picked on the wrong guy. You think you're in charge? Come and see me. And then at SummerSlam when they wrestle now, because this whole weekend has been focused on Cody and Rock. That's not how you have Cody beat Roman for the belt. And Roman has a whole other story going on that we don't want to talk about, and admit that this guy has been on this incredible run. If we want to talk about why this is the biggest weekend ever and The Rock came back, it's because of Roman Reigns. And the initial reason he came back was Roman Reigns, because he was going to wrestle Roman Reigns. So I am in agreement with you, except we just go separate on what that all means in context, and which is why I said when it all came down to it, we keep it simpler this weekend. We're overcomplicating with ourselves the way I wanted to see John Cena at Royal Rumble. No, this is easy.
But
The Rock and Roman screw Cody. He walks away defeated, and he's got to figure out, wait a minute, you guys were wrong. You cheated me. How do I come back? I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Rock.
My rebuttal.
Yeah.
It's simpler. You want to keep it simple? It's simpler to make Cody champ, to finish the story. That is the
it's easier to make Cody champ. It's not simpler. The simpler story is, and not to know you, you're absolutely right. It is, but in the debate of it, the PTI, Wilbon and Kornheiser of it all, no. It's easy to give Cody the belt and give everybody their feel-good moment, but it's simpler to recognize that the story is actually not served by him winning the belt this weekend. You can push it longer, because that will be a televised event at Madison Square Garden. It'll either be on Monday Night Raw, or they will do one of those live specials where, like, oh my God, Cody is actually going to have a shot at Madison Square Garden for the championship belt. This is huge. We're going to put it free on Peacock like it's a special event, like it's a crown jewel, like it's one of these PLEs that's on a Friday evening. It's going to be like a new Saturday night's main event. And oh my God, that's when he does it, because it's going to come later, because he's got to go through The Rock first, and Roman's going to set that record, and Cody is going to be the one to defeat him, but at a later point in time. But if he wins, as we've said it, I totally see it. I totally understand why Cody could or would win this weekend, but he's not. And you all better get very comfortable with that idea that Roman Reigns is going to remain your undisputed WWE Universal Champion, because I got it right that time.
All right. I mean, look, I think there is also a story to tell with Cody Rock SummerSlam for the belt.
You're absolutely right.
Cody having the belt, final boss being like, hey, you got Roman, but I'm the final boss. That's the final boss, like the last one.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
If you really want to be the champion that we all think you can be, and be at the level of Stone Cold and all this shit, you need to go through the final boss. And I think Rock beats him and takes the fucking belt from him, by the way. I think that's what happens. I don't think Cody can beat Rock at SummerSlam. I think then we have maybe, well, no, because that story's already done. I was going to say maybe we have a Cody go over against Rock at Madison Square Garden for the belt again, but that story is already done.
I wouldn't fight. I'm not going to fight you if Cody wins. I'm not going to fight the idea that he could still face Rock, and I love the idea that Rock would beat him at SummerSlam and take that title. I think there's so many ways to go. I just look at it as, for me, what I see, what I think, what I feel, what I look at Cody is not winning this weekend, and it's actually going to work out in his favor. It's actually for the better, for the product, the story, the TV show, for everybody involved. The best case scenario is actually prolonging this, dragging. It's not done. What they just started is not finished here. Well, this is going on.
I hope if he loses, I hope you're right that this is for the betterment. I hope they do justice by it, because historically it won't happen properly, and we'll end up winging it like they, have actually confessed to doing. They're just like, we're just, things change. We're kind of going by crowd reaction, which is even what Paul Heyman said regarding his induction speech. He said, I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to test the room, see what they're feeling, and go there. So I think they're doing a lot of that in their creative.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I'm hoping it all ends up well for Cody in terms of if he loses, then it's for a good reason, as opposed to if he loses and then just disappears. Like, we just don't really... We'll see him feuding with fucking Nakamura again or something that I don't want to see,
Yeah.
But okay. I mean, I'm sticking with Cody. I'm inserting that Cena and Stone Cold are somehow involved. I don't know how.
I don't think they show up for that match. I'm just going to say I don't think they show.
You think they do the entrance thing like in the WrestleMania 30 where they just come out in the beginning and get everybody hyped?
I think they're going to be there. I don't think they're getting involved in this one.
Okay.
I don't think it's... You know what? Maybe they do. Maybe they do get involved, because if The Rock is the special guest referee, you could still have them get involved and it not work out in their favor. And
you get that moment of The Rock and Stone Cold facing each other inside of a WrestleMania ring one more time. They're not in a match, but they're face to face.
I'd love the two of them there. I'd love both of them to show up. I still think Cody is losing and Roman is retaining this title. Whatever happens.
My final words are, I think The Rock is using his cinematic universe mentality. I think WrestleMania Bloodline Rules main event is Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we get Cody Rhodes, bloody, beaten, battered. Seth Rollins out there again, even just to help, battered, taped up. Send someone else too, to help out. One of the other talents. I don't know. And then, out of the last second, Stone Cold, Cena, the Avengers are here. More battling. Bloodline versus the Avengers of the Attitude Era, and then we have the Cody win. I think that's what we're getting. I hope.
I could absolutely see that. You're right. That is simple. The simple answer is stack the deck against this guy and then watch him overcome those odds and really do it. Totally understand it. And you wouldn't hear me complain about it.
And here's my final words on that. Then, now, forever, together. That's how Cody wins. Together.
Yeah.
With the Avengers and everybody's together and happy forever. I think that's I don't know. I'm hoping I hope the Vince McMahon days of getting burned by my hopes and dreams are over. That's all I can hope for. I hope that the new Triple H era gives me what I want. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around for an hour and a half of WrestleMania predictions. It's going to be a fun weekend. It starts tomorrow. Watch Bloodsport. I'm going to put out an episode on the RRBG podcast as soon as I can, with Shayna Baszler. We're talking about the Bloodsport. You're sideways. Okay, there we go. You're back. We're gonna watch Bloodsport on Thursday. We got Friday they're calling it WrestleMania SmackDown and the Hall of Fame, and then we got Saturday and Sunday. We have the next 4 days filled with professional wrestling. Please enjoy yourselves. Don't be tribal about it. Don't be weird about it. Have fun. Cheer. Yell at your TV screen. Like we'll be doing. I'm considering streaming like I'm gonna a watch along type of thing. I'm considering it. If anybody's interested and wants to tune in, we can watch it together and react together and talk and maybe if I can figure out how to get you to pop in, if you're free at some point, just pop in.
I'll zoom in.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. I'll try and get all my ducks in a row here. But thank you guys for watching. Please follow at Outside Interference Show. You can follow me at RRBG Podcast. And Mr. Evil Genius, where do they follow you?
Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Eddie Firth. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief.
Hey, I acknowledge him too, but let's finish that goddamn story. See you next time, kids.